Well, today has been an aggravating day. Now I gotta pull over and fix that stupid door back there. It's bouncing around. Just getting started here. I lost my calculator somewhere. I don't know where the heck the thing is at. I just had the thing in my hand a minute ago. Headed over to Fair Bluff, North Carolina. GPS says it's 150 miles from here. I'm in Charlotte, so I got to head over there toward I-95, close to the Florence, South Carolina, North Carolina border. And then that load is going to go to Wyoming. And it's got to stop out there on the western side of Texas. The reason it's annoying is because it's only paying about $2.44 a mile. Yeah, it sounds pretty good, but there was loads all over the board paying $2.44 a mile. Heck, I could have went to California, Washington, or Oregon, one pick, one drop for that kind of rate. I lost couple of loads that I was working on. I had a load paying $4,700 to go to El Paso. Then JB Hunt called me before he agreed, because I was asking for $4,900, but he came up to $4,700. Then JB Hunt called me and said they had a load picking up in Savannah, which was about 150 miles, about 200 miles from here, and it was going to Terrell, Texas. That was only about 950 loaded miles. And he offered me $3,200, which was well over $3 a mile, even with my deadhead. So, I was going to go ahead and go and do it. But then JB Hunt says, well, you need to go to our app. He said, are you familiar with JB Hunt 360? I said, yeah, I got it on my phone. Well, it wasn't on the phone. I deleted it because the app quit working a couple years ago. And so I just deleted it. So I asked him, I said, hey, can you get this app to work? He said, well, send us an updated copy of your insurance. And I did right away. Well, he had to submit that over to, carrier relations, and it took them forever to get the rate, to get it updated. They never did get it updated. So like an hour and a half later, I'm still calling the guy. I said, hey, did you get that issue fixed? He said, no. I said, well, do you want me to keep holding my truck, or do you want to cancel the load? He said, well, I think the loads done got gone anyway. So then I was back to the drawing board. So after that, I called the guy back up who had the load for $4,700 going to El Paso. And then he comes back and says that that load was still available, but then missed the pickup for the day, but I could load it tomorrow morning. Well, now they're back at the $4,400. Well, I was at $4,900. I was negotiating at $47,000. They didn't want to pay the $47,000. So then I started looking on the load board, and now it's already Monday. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. You ain't gonna get nothing picked up today. So this load here popped up on the board, picking up where I'm headed to now. It's just been one of those days. I get so tired of negotiating, and that's just why I'm going to Wyoming. It's because I just don't want to deal with this every single day. I got a buddy of mine who says, oh man, you can make $6,000 a week just staying in the Southeast thing, running about half the miles. Well, he says half the miles, but it'll end up being a lot more than half the miles. I tell him all the time, I said, well, you tell me what you did at the end of the month. You can sit there and run all the short stuff that you want. But when you lose a day here and you lose a day there, and so what, a load pays $3.80 a mile. If you got a deadhead, 150 miles to get it, on a 280 mile run, you've killed your rate. When you deadhead, when you're driving when you're getting $6,600 or $6,000 to run almost 3,000 miles, 2,600 miles, it's a big difference. You can deadhead 500, 600, 700 miles if you want. I try not to, but you can. Because you're doing the same thing when you deadhead 120 miles on this load, 150 miles on that load. When you're doing a bunch of little short loads and you're running those little short deadheads, those little short deadheads add up at the end of the week. And then, like I said, I told him, I said, then you go home and you stay home for 4 or 5 days. So it ain't really, you give me your bottom line number. He never knows his numbers. He never gives me the bottom line. He'll sit there and give me what he's making per load on this one or that one or what he did for the week. But then when I call him next week and say, hey, what'd you do this week? Oh, I didn't work none this week. Okay, so you made $6 grand last week, but you didn't make anything this week. Oh, I did a little bit, but I didn't come out of the house until Wednesday. You end up with about the same thing. So I would just rather take these long loads and go across country rather than sit there and bounce around, sweat balls every day, tarping. That's another thing. In the southeast over here in this area, everything is 45, 46, 48,000 pound loads. Like the load I'm going to get tomorrow is 30,000 pounds. It ain't nowhere near as heavy. It ain't got no tarping. It does have 2 stops, but it ain't that bad. You pull up at a stop, take some of the straps off on the top. It's a load of pipe. They'll take it off. It's just a whole lot easier, less aggravation. And you can probably tell by my voice right now that I'm aggravated. This is why I get aggravated, is because of what happened today. I got empty this morning at 10 o'clock and I drove like 3 miles because I was in a construction job site. So I just drove up to the freeway and got off on the exit ramp, pulled off to the shoulder, and I've been sitting there on the side of the shoulder at an exit ramp for the last 6 hours looking for freight. I was looking at this load y'all posted out of Wilkesboro, North Carolina, going to Merced, California.
Unfortunately, we'll have to step back out of here, man. I'm sorry.
And that's another thing. I done called on about 3 or 4 loads already this morning. Hello, it's Billy.
Hey, it's Carter with Total Quality. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good.
Say, calling on a step deck posted in Charlotte, North Carolina. Is that still available?
It is.
Awesome. I got a pickup in Sumter, South Carolina, going to St. Petersburg, Florida. You guys ever go that way?
If they paying enough.
What would you be asking for on something like that?
Where's it picking up at?
Picks up in Sumter. First come, first serve, 7 to 3. It's 2 pickup trucks. Going to St. Petersburg.
Do they got ramps? Do they got ramps on it?
No, you do need ramps.
Yeah, I don't have ramps.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks. Man, I feel sleepy. I just want to lay down. Let's go to the other load board, see if they got anything on it. There's a load going to Colorado. It ain't too bad, 5,200. It needs to be a little bit more than that. They need ramps on it as well. Load going to Las Vegas for 4,700. That ain't enough. Load going to Utah, same thing, 4,700. Another one going to Nevada. Another one going to Nevada, another one going to Las Vegas. And now they're even cheaper. Now they're at $3,750 going to Las Vegas. El Paso, Texas, 3,400. Laredo, Texas, $3 grand. Bronx, New York, $3 grand. Yeah, I don't feel like going to Bronx. I don't feel like dealing with that this week. Midland, Texas, that's out in the middle of nowhere. They got $3 grand on that one, but see, it's almost 1,500 miles by the time I deadhead to get it. So that's barely $2 a mile. Out of Midland, Texas, heck, you're still, what, 5 hours from Dallas, Athens, New York, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Missouri. There's one going to Kansas City, Missouri, picks up in Greensboro. Let's see, that's about 1,000 miles. See, it's only $2 a mile on that one. Everything out of here is $2 a mile. They find out that your going rates around 240, 250 a mile, and they want to cut it. Hello, it's Billy.
Hey, this is Penny. Hey, I was calling to check and see. Do you still have your step deck around Charlotte, North Carolina today?
Yes, I do.
Do you have loading ramps?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So let's call this other one going to Kansas City. They was calling in at the same time I was dialing it.
Please hold while I try to connect you.
I was looking at this load you guys posted out of Greensboro today going to Kansas City. Oh, never mind, I see it needs ramps. I don't have ramps. There's one going to Michigan, $2 grand. That one ain't bad. That's probably close to $250 a mile. Let's see what that one says. It's 2,000, divide that by, they're saying it's 858. I'm gonna round that up to 900 miles. It's 222. They need to pay a little more than that. Let's just see what they will pay. And this is why I like taking loads out west. I ain't gotta do this every day.
person at extension 107 is unavailable.
This gets aggravating every day. This is why I don't like to do this every day. Colorado, Nevada, Kansas City, New York, Texas. See, these same brokers, they'll post one load 4, 5, 6 times. Load going to Bethlehem, PA, picking up 2 hours from here, 2.5 hours. There's a load picking up in Henderson, North Carolina. That's almost 3 hours away, going to Henderson, Tennessee. It's almost $800. They got $1,700 on it. Hopkinsville, Kentucky, going to North Carolina. Chicago, Illinois load. Covington, Tennessee. Mansfield, Missouri. A load going to Wisconsin. See, there's the load right there going to Wisconsin. So we're getting up to the bottom of the barrel now. $1,500 for 1,000 miles. It picks up 20 miles from here. Rock Hill, South Carolina to Iowa, $1.40 a mile. I mean, these loads just drop off. You know, you sort by the highest paying rate or the highest money on the load. See, now we're down to the 13. I'm sorting by highest money. We're down to $1,300. You know, for $1,300, the load needs to be about 350 to 400 miles. This one here is at 562. Here's one going back to Indianapolis. I was just up there last week, picking up in Virginia. See, the thing about that one is it's 25,000 pounds, but I guarantee you once I pick that up in Virginia, I got to run across that 64 and then through all those mountains over there. Those are crap loads. See, it's 450 miles for $1,300. See, it's got extra stops and it's a wide load. Load going to Ohio, load going back to Texas, load going to Tennessee. Look at there, load going to North Dakota for $1,200. Man, they out of their mind. I might as well just lay down and take a nap or go home. See, we're down to $1,000 loads now. Was at $4 grand, now we're down to 1,000. See, a load going to Michigan for 1,000. Nope. Here's a load picked up in Greenville, South Carolina. It's about 120 miles away, going to Tarboro, North Carolina, 400 miles. They had it for $950. By the time you add my deadhead in there, it ain't worth doing. Plus, it's 41,000 pounds. I'm not hauling nothing heavy like that. Here's a load going up to Virginia, Dumfries, which is just a little bit south of Washington, D.C. I don't want to go to that area. Yeah, they crazy. Yeah, these all suck. Every one of these loads suck. Go back to the other load board. Got 2 load boards. I'll bounce between the 2. Nevada. See, they got the one going to Nevada listed at $215 a mile. The load going to Phoenix, they got it listed at $216 a mile. Load going to El Paso, they got it listed at $259 a mile. But out of El Paso, you're not going to get crap. And El Paso, there's no other cities nowhere near there. Bronx, New York, Minneapolis. See, here's one going to Minneapolis for $222 a mile. If they'd give me like $3,200, but they got it for $2,600. Let's see what they say about it. It says flatbed, it's got forklifts. Let's just call them and see what they say.
Thank you for calling the Express Logistics. If you know your party's extension.
See, this has got to be tarped. Why you got to tarp forklifts? I'm not tarping no damn forklift.
Hey, hello?
Yeah, I was calling about this load you posted out of Belmont, North Carolina, going to Minneapolis.
Yes, sir, for the flatbed.
Yeah, can they load it on a step deck?
I'd have to ask about that, good sir. But I mean, all the timing there, everything is accurate. What would you be on the price?
Is it got a tarp? It says tarp on there. I've never tarped forklifts before.
Have you carried forklifts before? 12-foot one?
Yeah. How many is it?
3 of them.
12, 24. Yeah, I could put those on my step deck because I got 42 feet on the bottom deck. What's the weight on each one?
The total weight is going to be 26,000 pounds.
Do you know if they got a tarp?
Yeah, 8-foot tarps is what they need.
All right. Well, I'm not going to tarp any forklifts. I've hauled a lot of forklifts. I've never tarped one in my life.
No worries. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, I ain't tarping that shit. Oh my God. I'm going to kick my boots off and lay across the bed until something comes in. Somebody will call me something in a little bit with something, but I ain't hauling all this crap. I'm going to just kick my boots off and relax. Oh man, it's like 7:15 in the morning. Go ahead and move this curtain out of the way. I'm about 10 miles from the customer I got to reload at this morning over here in North Carolina. I'm kind of regretting taking this load now. It's got 2 stops on it. One stop is on the western side of Texas. Then I got to continue on out to the western side of Wyoming. It's a load of pipe. One half the load's going to Texas and the other half of it's going out to Wyoming. It's only about a 30,000 pound load. But the problem is, before I get to Wyoming, it's close to like 2,500 miles. See, it's gonna be the end of Friday before I get delivered. Then I'm gonna be out there on the western side of Wyoming, probably a couple hundred miles from probably Salt Lake City area. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of there. I'm just gonna have to hustle. The load's paying $6 grand. It needs to be a little more than that. Just right now, the loads are so crappy. Yesterday, I spent 6 hours trying to find a load. Ended up taking this load right at 5 o'clock. Had to deadhead 150 miles to get it. So I deadheaded 150 miles last night, got over here. It was a rigmarole yesterday trying to get a load. It was frustrating. I just wanted to get a load yesterday for maybe 300 to 400 miles, but everything was just problematic. Everybody wanted to not even pay enough money, or they want me to tarp and not pay for that. They're like, oh, we got a tarp load. We'll give you $900 on 300 miles. I'm like, okay, but what are you paying me for tarping? It's hot out here. It's included in it. You know, I always got a smart mouth comment for people like that. The brokers, when they call me up, I say, hey, I can deliver a dry van load to a grocery warehouse and the lumpers will request $300 to be paid. Y'all pay that to the lumpers to unload a dry van, $300 with a forklift. But y'all won't give me $250 to tarp my trailer. I'm not tarping. I'm not tarping. Y'all go find somebody else to do it. I'm not doing it. Let's see here. I gotta get up and get going here this morning. Here we go. All truck drivers must check in before loading or unloading. All right, this is the pipe place. Is this plastic pipe or steel pipe? It looks like a thick rubbery type pipe out here. I don't know where to check in at. Let me go over here and check in. Let me just get out here and go see what's going on. I've already been here for close to an hour already. I don't think this load's gonna be nowhere near 30,000 pounds. They said I'm not even getting that much, but they're having to put the order together. They said, they call some of these things picture frames. I can't even see it. But they put this pipe, they got it out here bundled, and they got it bundled. Then they wrap boards around it. They put bands around the boards. You might can see it right over here. Let's see if I can zoom that one in right there. There's some boards right here on this one. So I can zoom that in. See that stack in the back behind this one over there with the board on the top corner? And so I'm getting a couple stacks of that, small bundles. Then they said they got to get a couple of single pieces to go with it. So according to them, I'm just going to get a couple of bundles and 2 or 3 extra stranded pieces. They said they're going to bundle it all together on top of that. The plant that I'm going to in Texas is part of this company. They just have another plant out in Texas. So evidently I'm taking a few bundles out there, or maybe I'm taking a few extra sticks to them, and then I'm taking the rest of it out to Wyoming. So no matter what, once I unload half of it in Texas, it's not going to be that much more to go to get on out there to Wyoming. So it sounds like I'm just taking a partial load. So, and then I looked on the rate sheet this morning, and the broker actually gave me $6,200 to do this load. So I'll take the extra 200 bucks. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. For the number of miles, I would have liked to have been around like 68 minimal. I'd have liked to have been like around $7,200 for the total amount of miles. But being that it's a partial and it ain't gonna be that heavy, you know, I don't save that much gas in it being light. I mean, you save a little bit, but you know, it's not hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You know, it'll probably save me a couple $100, but you know, nothing crazy. Yeah, I done been here for at least an hour already. That's him over there in the forklift. He's trying to get those pieces together and bundle it all up. I think they just bundled it. Can you see it out there? That's him coming here. They're just trying to put the order together first, then they're going to load me after they get it all loaded up. He's out there on the forklift. That looks like probably the stranded single pieces. Yeah, they got one bundle out there, now they're sticking some other stuff on top of it. But anyway, this ain't gonna be a hard load. It's not gonna be heavy, so I'll take that. All right, so this is it. A little short load, a little light load. It doesn't even come up 3 feet high. Put about 5 straps down the side of it. A few pipes in the back. And that's it. Some of that's going to Texas. I think those 2 bottom stacks there is what's going to Wyoming. And I think that little bit of stuff on top is maybe what's going to Texas. The rest of this on the bottom down here and this board is going to Wyoming, I'm assuming. And then this up here on the top up here is for Texas. I don't know why they're sending such a small amount, but hey. So anyway, that's my load. So just waiting on my paperwork now. Guy should be out here in a second. And then I'll be out of here. Oh, some big step up right there. It's a hole down there.